يا الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord, the cherisher and sustainer of all systems of knowledge. We witness that none deserve to be worshipped but Allah alone, and we witness that Muhammad is his last and final messenger of presence, peace be upon him. La ilaha illallah, there is no God or nothing worthy of worship other than Allah. The one, the alone, La sharika lahu, who has no partner, lahu mulk. To him belongs the dominion, lahu hamd. To him belongs the praise, and to him all praise is due. Yuhyi wa yumiit, he is the giver of life and death, وهو على كل شيء قدير, and he has power over everything. Praise be to Allah for another Yawm al-Jum'ah, the best day of the week, the best day of the month, the best day of the year, and the beautiful day it is. Every day is beautiful, whether it rains, snows, or sunshine. But when we see the sunshine, it brightens our spirit. And well, the rain does too. We praise God for all of the rotation in his system, the different weather patterns, the different circumstances in our lives. We praise him for this day and time in which his truth, his power, his omnipotence, his presence, his authority is being shown in every way that we can see. We can feel it, we can see it, we can hear it, we can even taste the majesty and the magnificence of Allah in this day and time that had been predicted by all of the prophets, that this time would come when the presence and the power and the glory of Allah would be manifested in everything. Now Allah says in the Quran, O mankind, reverence your guardian Lord who created you from a single person and created of like nature his mate and gradually. And from both of them scattered like seeds, countless men and women, brothers belong to whom you demand your mutual rights, and brothers to wounds that bore you, for Allah never watches over you. You notice this verse mentions the one soul, Yasin, 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 one soul, and then it duplicates that single soul into complementary pairs, and it Baptize means who? Baptize, you can hear, and the word baptize, you hear both. Hallelujah, word both. B-O-T-H. And it broadcasts from both of them, from the two entities, like seeds, men and women. And the word here for men is residing, that's residing. From the word residing, which in some instances in the Quran, it means legs, that which we stand upon, the foundation, the base upon which we stand. And we're getting, for women, the word is, and we stand, which is the complementary nature of the man. And when we are speaking in the Quran, it's not so much talking about the different sexes, male or female. It's talking about the masculine principle and female principle that exists in everything, not just human beings. It's talking about principles, masculine and feminine principles that are complementary, are pairs. And it's in everything. And it is more, we might say, refined and developed in the human species. Not that it's not developed in other places, but it is more refined and more developed, more distinguished in the human development, the masculine and feminine principle. Now, when we read the Quran, we have to understand who it is that's speaking and to whom it's being spoken. We understand that in the Quran, it is Allah who is speaking. And he's speaking to all created matter, actually. And nothing in the Quran that Muhammad himself said. It's always Allah speaking. And he's not just speaking to Muhammad. He's speaking to everything that he created. And everything in the Quran applies to everything that Allah created. When we understand that the Quran is both a personal message, it speaks to your own soul, and it's a general message, it's speaking to everything of your kind and of every other kind. And even though we're created from nafsin wahida, a single soul, each soul is different. Each soul perceives and acts upon everything that it perceives in a different way or with a different perspective. God gave everything that quality, and only Allah can do that. We know that there are signs in everything that Allah says. Signs that can be observed and We don't have to speculate about anything. Allah does not speculate or guess. Everything is exact. It says in one place that the sun, the moon, the stars, everything moves or rather swims in orbits that have been exactly computed, not estimated, exactly calculated. Now, the word calculated does mean, in some respect, to guess, but when Allah uses it, it's not about guessing. It's not about estimation. This is exact. And everything in the creation influences everything else. It is influence that keep the planets, the sun, the moon, and the stars, the galaxies, all in their places. It's the influence one upon the other that keeps them in the orbits that Allah put in. We can see how the moon influences the tides upon the earth. We can see that. There's no guesswork about that. We can see how when the wind blows, it influences what it blows upon, even though we can't see the wind. So that leaves no doubt. Everything is exact, and it is exactly as Allah intended it to be. There are no accidents, no luck, no chance in Allah's creation. When you look at the sky or in your own self, there's no luck there. There's no chance or guesswork or accidents. Everything is what it is, and it is what Allah intended it to be. And it can't be anything more, and it can't be anything less. That's the omnipotence of Allah. When we say Allahu Akbar, it's not just a phrase. It's not just a catchphrase or a hit thing to say today. It has always been that way. The Quran has always existed. There never was a time when Allah was not. There will never be a time when He is not. Praise be to Allah. And Allah says in the Quran, He is the one who comprehends all things, yet He cannot be comprehended. Now, when you think about that, we can't even comprehend that statement. Somebody say, well, what do you mean it can't be comprehended? I know God. You hear Christians say, I know God, but that's not true. You don't know God. You can only know this phone is ringing. Praise for long. We can only know the attributes of Allah. Some of His attributes are named in the Quran, and that's not all of them that are mentioned in the Quran, but some are mentioned, and we can't even understand many of them. Some of them, none of His names actually can be translated into many other languages in the Arabic. That's why we say if you're not reading the Quran in the Arabic, you're not reading the Quran. You're reading what somebody else said that this said. And that's okay if that's all you can do. However, you can go to nature You see, every letter in the Quran has been exactly placed in the place it's meant to be by Allah Himself. Every letter, not just every word. Every letter and every word is exactly placed. And every letter in the Arabic language and in any other language has a meaning that goes back to nature, not back to Webster or what the American English Dictionary said this word means. The letters have meanings that are in nature if we study it. Language didn't just pop into being. Language, including letters, are defined in nature. And then men of understanding and of awareness bring the meaning of the letters from nature, put them together to make words. And words make people. Money don't make people. Your physical being does not make you. If we had no words, we wouldn't know who or what anything is. You can show a Mona Lisa painting or these great paintings or anything that you consider to be valuable art or beautiful creation to a dog, and he has no idea what he's looking at. He has no words. It is understood that when animals can communicate with each other, when a dog says bow wow or a cat says we are, it means something to them, perhaps. But they're not words that we understand. When we say words, we mean letters formed from nature that make up words that give meaning to our being and everything else. That's how we function. A baby coming here out of the womb has no words. If you take a baby born in China and put it in an English-speaking home, it will come up speaking English because that's what it is. And a human being can learn different languages. We have that ability. Because all languages are made up of letters, which are made up of words. Now, one problem that we encounter in studying the Quran is that many teachers of the Quran, they start with root words. That's good. But roots are made of letters. We call letters seeds, right? Seeds. So the letter is a seed. A root to a tree or a plant is made of seeds. You can't have a root without having a seed. So you have to have the seed in order to get the word. You have to have the seed to get a root. So we shouldn't start at the root word. We should start with the letters because every letter has a meaning. And every letter, depending on where the letter is in the word, has a different meaning. Allah did this. And then the Quran is very pronounced. It's very obvious when you study it. That's why the Quran is such a lasting, we say book, but it's not just a book, because it is nature. It wasn't always a book. You understand? And you can take every physical book of the Quran and do that some of these non-believers want to do and burn them up. You can do that. But you still haven't destroyed the Quran because you can't destroy it. You can, some people want to, Allah says they try to blow out his light with their mouths. You can't do that. Or you can blow that bulb out in that electric light with your mouth. You can blow it, but you can't blow it out. If you can't do that, then how can you put out Allah's light with your mouth, with your words, against what Allah has said? And look at what's happening in our society. Are they trying to blow out Allah's light with their mouth? Turn on the TV, it's all about this. You know? Look at what's happening now. Look at the similarities we're saying. Look at the similarities between the 911 false flag and this pandemic false flag, because that's what it is. It's meant to get your obedience, to keep you in fear, not just fear of something you can't even see. With 911, we were the fear of being Laden and Islamic terrorists. That was the fear factor. Now you're to fear something you can't even see. And that's always a problem. That's why we say turn the TV off and get to Allah's word and listen to the Quran, even if you can't understand what the Arabic is saying, listen to it, because words have vibration. Everything in creation is energy, vibration, and frequency. And the Quran has a frequency in its words that no other created thing has. It's the best frequency for today and for all time. Everything you're hearing on the TV are frequencies. The words are frequencies to influence how you are to feel and act about it. Look at this. Do you not know that when we pray, when we come together for congregational prayer, it's not just to be physically together, but people, human beings, and everything else gives off frequencies. We have what we call auras, or others call it well, this is aura. We have an energy field, a Taurus field that influences. When we come together, we are used to greeting each other and embracing each other, right? Human beings need to touch. When we come together and pray, our energies come together. That's why we stand in ranks close together. You see? Now look at what they do. They want us as you stand there. They also know, we're talking about the manipulators of the people in society. They know that if you're at least 5 feet apart or 6 feet, that's why you bird 6 feet under. Now they want you 6 feet apart. The Taurus field is broken. And that as your energies don't come together, they separate. They don't want you together. They want you to be apart. They want you to fear each other. You are there to fear your grandmother, your grandfather. You think that's right? You think that's a joke? You think that the manipulators of this society don't know what they're doing? When somebody who's not even a doctor say we won't be satisfied until every person on earth is vaccinated to get rid of the virus, and you can't even get the viruses out of your computers. No less than talking about getting the virus out of human beings. Who are you? And what do you want? And you control the stock and the monies in the companies that produce the vaccine that's supposed to get rid of the virus. You can't see that? Oh, everyone said, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, don't you know that has been a conspiracy against what God wants ever since the first beginning? Yes, there's a conspiracy, always have been. For Allah knows best. Praise be to Allah. We thank Him for this day, for opening our eyes and guiding us to the way of Muhammad. We thank Him for Muhammad who came with the truth. He did not compromise with error and evil. He did not say, let's choose the best or the better of the 2 or 3 evils. No, he came with a complete way of life, and that's what we are to establish and carry on along the way. him to be had and he to be valued off the Al-Amin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبتا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربي إني بما أنزلت إلي من خير. We ask that Allah bless Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad as he blessed Abraham and the followers of Abraham. Oh Allah, pour out your patience upon us and establish our feet, establish our position, and help us against those who reject faith. When we speak, we are not seeking to have anybody fear of vaccination or fear that manipulate us. We're not saying that. Allah is in control of everything, and He sees all that He has shown us to see, and He sees even more. So if He has shown us just a little piece of His light and a little of the schemes of Satan, that's just a little that He's shown us, and we appreciate that. But we know that He knows best. He sees even more. He sees the complete scheme, and He is able to do something about it. And He's given us intelligence to do what we can do about it. We're not to just accept, well, this is the way it has to be, and only Allah can call it death. We know that. See, some people will say, well, we don't have to fear war. You don't have to fear the vaccine. You don't have to fear what people are going to do. That's true. We're not fearing it. We have to call attention to it and be aware of it so that we can do what we can do. Allah will not change the condition of the people until they change what is in their own soul. So He's telling you, He's giving you the capacity, the faculty to see and understand the schemes of Satan. And He said, fight the schemes of Satan, not to cooperate with them, and not to ignore them. So we can't just ignore it and say, well, God's going to take care of it. Of course He is. Have we always? Or have He always sent people, His prophets, to warn and to give good news? What we're doing, we're not warning or trying to strike fear in anybody. We're giving believers good news. Good news that this is a day where the power and the omnipotence of Allah is being manifested. That's the good news to the believers. But it's bad news to the non-believers. They don't want to hear this. Oh, you're conspiracy. You're conspiracy theorists. Yes, we believe Satan has always been a conspirator, and he will always be. And we thank Allah for showing it to us and giving us the capacity, the opportunity, and the courage to speak out against Satan in this day and time, that every opportunity we get. Praise be to Allah. We ask that He protect us, guide us, and lead us to His straight way, the Sirat al-Mustaqim, and to keep us in that way, and not to be misguided by the schemers with all of their money and perceive the power. They perceive that they have power, but we know that Allah has the power, and He gives authority and power to whomever He pleases, and He strips it away from whomever He pleases. He honors whom He pleases, and He brings low whoever He pleases. We see now today the stars are falling, not the stars in the sky, but the ones we perceive to be stars, the Hollywood type, the athletes, the entertainers, the ones who um, have perceived power and money that fallen being discovered. The curtain has been pulled back and we can see the Wizard of Oz. We see it. And we point it out to those who may not see it. And Allah knows best. And He gives guidance to do that He believes. Drop down in the drop down in the
Allahu Akbar.